And I didn't know what it was, but something in my gut told me like, I want to do something that's crazy. So like when I was like 13 years old, I was like, you know what? I want to be a wrestler. Like I'm seeing all these girls go out there and kill it. I want to do that. I want to be an inspiration to little girls. Like I want to be the person I needed when I was growing up.
And we are back. And we are back for another casual conversation with the classic. Talked to Emily before on my channel, but not in this casual conversation form. This is your first appearance, I'm sure, of many, depending how long I do this for. But what's going on?
Yes.
I always say, like, I'm going to stop interviewing, and, like, I'm still here doing these. I, like, stopped in 2020, stopped in 2023.
Now we're just back.
We're just here, just doing this stuff still. But how are you? What's going on?
I'm so good. We're living life. We're chilling. But how are you?
I'm good. I'm great. Not snowed in, so I'm doing great.
You're so lucky.
I can go outside and drive and go to the grocery store and get some food, you know? You guys don't even know how Emily's living right now. But I did really want to have you on the show. I feel like this is long overdue. But I also feel like the timing is probably a little bit better now because you've done quite a bit now in your wrestling career. Like, say, if we did this a year or two ago, it might have been a little bit different. But yeah. I think there's a lot more to talk about. So I always start with this. So I'm going to ask you the same thing I ask everybody else at the beginning. Very cliche, but, you know, it's always good to know. What were your earliest memories of pro wrestling? How did you become a fan?
So my first, like, actual memory of wrestling was Maria Kanellis getting her Playboy offer. Gotta love it.
You're like, I love this sport.
Yes. So like the first time I ever met Maria, I went up to her and when I told her that, I was like, you're the reason I got into wrestling because of your Playboy offer. And she was like, shut up. She was like, that's the first time anybody has ever told me that. She was like, I've never been the reason somebody's gotten into wrestling. And for you to get into wrestling off that is crazy.
Yeah. Look, so what about that enticed you that I like this?
I don't even know. Like, I was, ooh, a pretty girl. And then, like, I just continued to watch the show because I'm, like, 99.9% sure it was at a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So then I continued to watch the show. And I remember seeing, like, Dolph Ziggler, John Cena, like, everybody. And I'm like, wait, I like this.
Yeah. So who were some of your favorites growing up then? Like, who were people that you felt, you know, kind of inspired by, that you really enjoyed watching and tuned in?
So I really love the girlies. So loved Maria Kanellis. I like got out of wrestling at some point and then hopped back in when like Give Divas a Chance movement was going on. So like Nikki Bella was one of my favorites, Paige, AJ Lee, all the girlies, love them all.
That's awesome. Why'd you fall out of it? Like, what was the reason that you kind of stopped tuning in for a minute there?
I honestly don't even know. Like, I think it's because, like, I was starting, like, middle school, I think. And I was, like, trying to, like, fit in. And then I was like, why am I trying to fit in? Like, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I liked this just because other people don't like it. Like, that doesn't mean I can't like it. So, like, got back into it.
So I think I first saw you and you were, like, repping WWE merch. You were, like...
yeah.
A Liv Morgan stan to an extent. Tell me about that part of your journey. Like, what was it when you were like, okay, there's social media, there's a platform here. I can maybe try to be one of the WWE Shop girlies or figure something out here. How did that come about?
So, like, I saw people like Mariah May, and I love Mariah. She's amazing. But I like started to see her post a lot, and I was like, oh my god, like she's like cutting up these shirts in such like cute ways. It's to where it's not just a t-shirt. So then I'm like, oh, I want to try this. So then like I started posting in WWE Shop shirts, and then WWE Shop started following me, and then I just became a WWE Shop model from there. So
yeah. Great. That was basically that is crazy. You know, I've known Mariah before she even started doing anything on social media. I reached out to her to rep my merchandise wrestling classic stuff, and like could not stress how hard I went in on her about like, yo, like you could build a brand here, like you could do something, dude. You're like a pretty wrestling fan. What are you doing? Like, and she like, and I knew since day one, like she loved wrestling. It wasn't like, it was like in our first conversation, I was like, hey, do you? Because I reached out to her for about my merch, and I was like, because I saw her wearing a Seth Rollins shirt on social media. And I was like, oh, who's this girl wearing a Seth Rollins shirt? And she knows the story. And I DM'd him like, hey, like, do you actually like wrestling, or like, did you go to the show with your boyfriend or your brothers or something? You know what I mean? And she's like, and literally our first conversation, she's like, no, I want to be a pro wrestler. And then
period.
In that first conversation, and then like from there, the rest is history. But like, it's crazy that you're saying she's someone that influenced you, because I still remember like trying to convince her, like, no, dude, like
you got to do it.
You got to do it. Like we can build you, like you're the Mariah May brand. Like,
Something that's crazy. While I was cleaning my room the other day, I literally found your shirt and your sweatshirt. And while I was cleaning my room, I was like, this is crazy.
Wow, you better rock it. I want to see it worn somewhere. I will see. That being so, when did you decide you want to pursue professional wrestling? When did you have that aha moment that I just talked about? Where you're like, no, I want to be a pro wrestler.
So I always knew from a very young age I was never going to have like a normal job. I never saw myself having a normal job. Never saw myself actually going to college. Like college was not the way for me. And I didn't know what it was, but something in my gut told me like, I want to do something that's crazy. So like when I was like 13 years old, I was like, you know what? I want to be a wrestler. Like I'm seeing all these girls go out there and kill it. I want to do that. I want to be an inspiration to little girls. Like I want to be the person I needed when I was growing up. So I bit the bullet back in like 2020, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So it's been like 6 years. Okay.
I know. I bit the bullet and I started training at this one school around my town. And this is something very important that I learned is you really need to check into wrestling schools and get trained by people that are actually good and not just have a ring and be like, oh, I can train people. No, you really need to look into it, because I was there for a little over a year. And the only thing I learned was the international, and I didn't even learn it correctly. So then I decided I went to college.
Little over a year. So by like 2021, you decided, okay, something's
not clicking. So then, I went to college for 2 semesters, so like a year. And during that second semester, I discovered Flatbacks, and I like looked into it, and I literally had a sit down conversation with my mom, and I said, you know what? I want to do this for not only me, but like I want to do it for like the little girl in me. Like, let me go see if I can achieve my dream. And I ended up moving to Florida for 3 months in 2022 and went and trained with Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze. And the rest is history. Now we're killing it out here.
There's a couple of questions I have off of that. How was Flatbacks? What's one thing you said you learned from Flatbacks that you still carry with you today?
I cannot thank Breeze and Spears enough for everything they've done for me. On the last day, something that really stuck with me was they gave me an ultimatum, because the thing is, they had known about me. They had seen my social media. They knew I was a fan. I have a picture of me and Breeze from like WrestleMania Access.
Yeah.
And like him and Spears sat me down. They're like, we're going to give you an ultimatum. They're like, choose what side of the barricade you're on. You can either be on the fan side or the wrestler side. Pick your poison, because right now you're leaning towards more the fan side, and we need you to prove us wrong. And that stuck with me. So ever since, I have been proving everybody wrong and letting them know that I did choose the right side.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And now I want to ask you something else that you based off. You said something that was very important to you. Long day is that you wanted to have little girls look up to you, or like think of you as an inspiration the same way you did with the women you grew up watching. Have you had a lot of those interactions with little girls coming up to your tables at shows and whatnot? Like, to give me a story, let me know.
Oh my God, there's so many. Like they all
Yeah.
make me want to cry. There's this one girl that's in Georgia, actually. I haven't been there in a while, but I debuted in Georgia like it was literally on my 1 year is when I debuted in Georgia. And she was actually like a big fan of Lindsay Snow. And me and Lindsay had gotten close and like we're talking and she like looks at me and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." Her name is actually Emily. And every show that I've gone to, like her and her mom are always like the loudest ones for me. And I hadn't seen them in maybe like a year or so. And then I actually saw them in November at WrestleCade. And she has grown into such an amazing little girl. And I also have this one girl named Josie who I met at a WWE show as soon as COVID like lifted technically. It's when they started running like very select house shows. I met this little girl named Josie. She was there with her parents, and I had told them like, "Hey, like I'm actually going to train to be a wrestler." So they've known me since before I was actually training. And when I tell you I've seen her every year for the past like 3-4 years now, and seeing her grow like makes me want to bawl my eyes out. First time I met her, she was like to like my kneecap.
Yeah.
Now she's like to my shoulders, and I'm like,
that's so crazy. No, listen, I like honestly, there's a lot of people that follow me too, because I've been doing this for so long that I'm like, oh, I remember when they followed me and they're like some little kid commenting on my like pictures and stuff, and now they're like in their 20s. Some of them are wrestling, some of them are doing other things. I'm like, some of them are like having kids. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Where did the time go? Or like anyone,
guys, I can't do it.
Yeah. Or like anytime someone would come to me and be like, yeah, like we'd be like watching the videos you were posting in class. I'm like what class? Like, in high school? I'm like, what? Like in like our grade 7 class? I'm like, wait, what?
It's like you're making me feel old. Stop.
That's nuts. Yeah. Yes, yeah. I've been following you since for like 10 years. I'm like, that's crazy. Let me ask you this then. Okay, so you did the Flatbacks thing. You went to school there. How was your first match? Do you have memories of your first match? Like, where were we at here?
Oh God. Yes, my first match. It was very hard to get a first match because not a lot of people will just take your word and be like, "Listen, I know how to work." But like at this point, had no footage of me actually wrestling. And I'm like, "You're just gonna take my word on this." I promise to wrestle. So like I ended up wrestling at George South's birthday.
Oh, and wow.
I love George South. He's amazing. I ended up wrestling. It was Ella Envy and Brittany Jade in a triple threat. And they were two of my very close friends. They took amazing care of me because I was scared.
Yeah.
I actually rewatched that match the other day because my favorite thing to do when I'm bored is like go back and watch old matches. And I'm like, what was I thinking? What am I doing? And like I rewatched that match and I said, what is this? Like, what am I watching? Like, a schoolboy on like the wrong side, and I'm like, what is this? But I remember after that match, like, I was an emotional roller coaster because I was like, whoa, like, I actually just went out there and like did my dream, like in front of a crowd too. And
no, that's insane.
I saw George South right after, and George is like, "I'm so proud of you, honey. Like, you did amazing." And I'm like, I'm going to cry right now. Don't play with me.
It is nuts that you're able to go back, watch your matches, kind of like, because some people can't do that. They can't go back, watch your matches and critique themselves, but you're okay going back, critiquing yourself. I'm like, what the hell was going on? And like seeing yourself get better.
I just laugh at myself. I still laugh at myself. Because like sometimes it's in one ear out the other. Like I'm really slow sometimes, like when it comes to certain stuff. And like everybody laughs at me whenever I like call a match. Because the thing is, I know what moves are. I know what they are, but in my head, it doesn't process as that move. So I'm like, yeah, this thing, boom, boom, boom. And everybody's like, what are you saying? I said,
what is boom, boom, boom?
In my head. So I remember it.
This like boom, boom, boom. That's what we're gonna hit. You got like code names, so maybe if everyone learned the code names, you guys could all just have your own lingo and talk to each other, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they just gotta get on it.
What's up, everybody? This is RV here from Rain City Toys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Wrestling Classic. Check out the TWC show that Justin and I do weekly. Also subscribe to Just Yappin'. Justin and I talk about wrestling and everything else that we feel like talking about. If you guys are looking for figures, hit me up. Got some old school legends right here like Rick Martel. Find some of the newer guys like CM Punk. Got some Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anything you're looking for, just hit me up. Follow me on Instagram, Rain City Toys. Hit me up on TikTok, Rain City Toys. Kind of following behind Justin here on some followers, so let's get those subscriber count up. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And you guys go back to the show and hope you guys enjoy.
Let me ask you this then. How did you come up with the Stunner character and the personality? Who is the Stunner? Where did the nickname come from? Do you do the Stunner? And then just like your whole vibe. Like obviously, when you first went out there for George South, you probably just went out there as Emily Jaye. I'm a wrestler. I'm gonna do this.
That's really what I said.
Time, yeah. But over time, you have more of a persona. You're more of a character. You can see the confidence in you, especially when you're walking out there in your entrance. Like you are the Stunner. Like how did you come up with that? How did the creation go down?
So, fun fact: Stunner was not going to be my gimmick at all. Actually,
yeah.
Breeze and Spears came up with that for me because they're like, let's look at this. So we looked at I didn't know who I wanted to be. I was so lost. First, I wanted to be a cheerleader gimmick. Then I wanted to be like a Crystals gimmick. I don't know what was going on.
Crystals gimmick.
So like, I was so lost, and like so many people helped me like develop my character. They're like, you could literally be the model. You could be the hot girl. Because if you go on your comments, you literally have people commenting like, oh, you're stunning. And I'm like, hold up. I like that. They're like stunning, stunner. So I was like, oh, I'll be the Stunner. Like I'm every man's dream. Like get out. Like I'm that bitch pretty much. And that's where we went with that. And it took a while for me to like gain the confidence of everything. Because when I tell you, I go back and watch my matches and I can tell a lot just by the way I present myself. And watching like an early day match and the way I walked out, I was literally running. I did not want to be in that ring. I wanted to get in there, do everything, get out. Like, and that's what took me a long time to realize. Now I soak everything in. I soak in every moment. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out there, be that girl. Like, what? I'm the Stunner. I'm the Stunner. Every man's dream.
and then obviously you started doing the Stunner.
Exactly.
Was that just based off the fact that you were the Stunner? You're like, you know what? That has to be the move, doesn't it? Like,
yes, that's actually the and plus, the thing is, you can't really mess it up. You really can't. Like, no. It's all in the other person. So all I gotta do is, gotcha.
How would you say, like, where did the confidence come from, right? Because like you said, at the beginning you were running in there, you're doing things. Like, when was it? Like, was there a certain moment, a match where you're just like, oh, I get this and I get who I am now. Like, this is what I gotta do. Like, when did you start feeling comfortable?
So Renee Michelle is actually the one that helped me build a lot of that confidence, because I ended up wrestling her on like a ladies' night out, like triple shot show. And I was so nervous because I'm like, it's Renee Michelle. Renee Michelle is very established. She's very well respected in my eyes. And I was like, I'm so scared. Like, this was like the biggest name I had wrestled to date. Like, biggest name. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm nervous. So like I go up to her, and as soon as she realized I trained at Flatbacks, like she was like, oh, you're family. I said, and she like put some of the match together for me, and she was like pushing me out of my comfort zone, which was something like I wasn't used to. I was used to doing the same couple moves every match. Almost every one of my matches for like the first year looked the same. And she helped me build that confidence and be like, listen, push yourself out of your comfort zone. You're going to be so much better. And when we got in there, she was like, be the hot girl, be hot.
Yeah.
She was embedding it in my head. And that's exactly what I did. And then after that, like I still have moments where I'm still nervous, but I've gotten to a point where I can hide it to where people do not know I'm nervous.
Yeah, no, I think you've done a great job at it. Yeah.
If anybody sees me before a match, I am so nervous. I'm shaking uncontrollably. I literally tell people in the back, I'm like, before like my match goes up, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go have my like little panic attack, and then I'll be back. I'll be back in a second. Let me just go get all my tears out, my stress out, then I'll be back.
Yeah. How cool is that though, right? Because like, you know, wrestling can be very competitive. You got a lot of peers, and not everybody is like willing to like help you out that way. Like most of the time they'll be like, okay, just do what you do. Like I'm so focused on myself and what I gotta do. How nice was it to have someone actually like be like, no, like, okay, let's figure you out here. Let's see what you're supposed to be doing, and I'm gonna help you do it tonight. Like, how nice was to have that as for a change? Because I know firsthand, like, it's not always like that.
It's honestly never like that. It's never like that, guys. And I've been very thankful to wrestle the people I do, because I haven't had a situation like that in a hot second where it's been like, you do your own thing, I'll fill it in. Like, it's been a while since that's happened. So recently, like, I have people like Leah Knight, who for sure pushes me out of my comfort zone. I'd be doing things in our matches I never thought I'd do. She's amazing. Billy Starks is amazing. Billy likes to push me to my limit. Lena Cross is another one. She was amazing. And I'm so thankful for the people who push me to be better, because that's what we're all here for. We all want to get better. We all want to get signed to a company one day. And you can't do that if people aren't working together.
Yeah. Who are people now at this point? Like, now you've been wrestling for like 3-4 years. Who are some people now that, like, when you were like, okay, I want to figure out some new moves, do something, who are like the wrestlers you like to study now? Because obviously the rosters in both WWE, AEW, Joshi Wrestling, like everywhere it's stacked, right? So it's like, who are people that you're like, oh, I'm going to watch some of their matches. I kind of like their style of wrestling. This is what I want to study.
I love watching Liv Morgan. That's my girl. Always girl.
That's like literally how I first remember you as being a Liv Morgan, like big fan. Like,
Liv is my girl. I love her.
Yeah.
I always like watching her matches. Penelope Ford is another one. I love watching Gabby Forza. I love watching her. Listen, she is my muscle mommy. I love her. Like, girlie be lifting me up sometimes. I'm like, girl, I don't know how you're doing this, but I adore you.
Yeah.
I love watching Zeta Steel matches. That's my girl. Even though she slapped me in the face the first time we wrestled. Love her, though. It's been amazing to watch so many of these people grow, like, over the years. And
yeah, it is an insane time, you know, with the women on the independent scene. I just interviewed Jody Threat, and we were talking about how like 10-15 years ago you could watch, you would see pictures of wrestling schools and there'd be like 1 or 2 girls there, and you know, it's all dudes. Well, I'm like, I think there is now a lot of more girls in professional wrestling, and there's a lot of you that understand the social media aspect too. You, Zeta for sure, Brittany, Hollywood, like you guys get the idea of putting yourself out there. Yeah, putting yourselves out there, right? Like that's why I know you. Well, I known you before I knew any of them, but like that's why I know them too, is because like their ability to use social media and capitalize on it, just like you have the entire time, even before. Like you're a little bit of a different story because you knew what social media was before you got into wrestling. You're already doing it in your own form. But like, how important do you think having a presence on social media is as an independent wrestler today?
I think it's very important, because the more views you get, the more asses you can put in seats. That's always how I've had the mindset of it, because I had a lot of people in the beginning wondering why I was getting booked over them. And I was less experienced, and they knew that. And they're like, how is she getting booked, but I'm not? And at the end of the day, I always said, I can put asses in seats at the end of the day. People have seen me since I was a little kid grow up between little model pictures to now actually wrestling. They want to see me perform. They want to see what I can do.
Yeah.
And honestly, without social media, I would not be where I am.
Yeah. No, and I think people need to I think that's you would think people would know now, and I think a lot of people do. And like, you have a Matt Cardona out there who's always telling people, you got to post all the time. You got to post, because it's true, you do. And there's still people that like, oh, you don't need social media to be over. Like,
yes, you do.
It's like, no, like, people need to see you. They need to see your stuff, and like, it might not be the only reason that you get opportunities, but it will be a part of the reason if you're actually active on it that you did. And I think you've been really good at that. Have you been able to like have any conversations with Liv Morgan since you started wrestling?
Yes.
How? And I'm only asking you this because I wanted asking that, but from the stories I've heard and the experience I've heard, like, and just like being on social media for 10 years as a wrestling classic and always seeing what's kind of going on, it's like I've heard and seen plenty of stories, especially like I was telling someone else this the other day because they were like, I've heard that before. I'm like, no, I'm the one that probably told them. Like, for some reason, from my observations, Liv's always been very supportive of women in the industry, especially young women that want to get into it. And like, I've just heard and seen so many instances of her like going out of her way, and it's not even like publicly. It's usually like someone got a DM or something. Yep. You know what I mean? And it's like she's going out of her way, like, to help young women in the industry. And I'm like, that's something that's not talked about a tiny yet. And I feel like as more of you girls get older and progress, like, it will be talked about. So I'm going to give you the platform to talk about it a little bit, because I think she deserves some flowers for that. I don't think it's talked about enough about Liv actually being very, like, I can say it, but you're about to give us the evidence that it's true, that she's very supportive to women in the industry. Like, she really is.
She is very supportive. So like when I first decided to go to Flatbacks, she was the first person I actually messaged. Like, didn't tell any of my friends. My first message was to Liv. And so like I messaged her and she was like, oh my God, you're going to have such an amazing time down there. Whatever. She's like, send me clips of when you're wrestling. Like, I'd love to see it. So like when I was down there by myself for 3 months. Yeah. And my birthday was actually during that time period. And she like had texted me and she was like, hey, send me your address. I was like, what address? I was like, my house address or the one I'm staying at? And she's like, the one you're staying at right now. She was like, okay, like, you need to be at your house at this time and all this. I was like, okay. I get back from training. I have a whole edible arrangement sitting at my house from Liv and her sister. And it made me bawl my eyes out. And she was texting me. She was like, I'm so glad it got to you. Whatever. I still keep the card that is signed by them in my gear bag. I will never take it out. And it was like, Emily, you're a star, keep shining. And I'm like, oh, love you. But whenever I have like a cool move I want to show her, like, I'll immediately send it to her. She's seen almost all my gears before anybody else. And she like helps me more than like people understand. She deserves all the flowers in my book. And I've not seen her in so long, and it is killing me not seeing her, because I'm like, girl, and what, she hates me for this, but I actually got her when WrestleMania was in Dallas. I got her to draw a semicolon, and she didn't know what it was for, because I didn't tell her what it was for. And she's like, why are you giving me a sign? I said, don't worry about it, like, just get it. And then I ended up getting it tattooed. And when I saw her the next time I did, like, it was like 2 weeks after I got the tattoo, and I didn't tell her that I got it. So I went up to her. I was like, look what I did. And she goes, you're lying. And she's over here like trying to like scrub it off. And I'm like, girl, it's not coming off. I was like, I need you to know, like, you are a very important person to me. I remember in high school when I was a very depressed person, still am half the time, but when I was very bad mentally, I'd send her something about a long thing. Don't want to get too emotional on here.
Yeah.
But she ended up responding back, and she stayed up with me that night until I was okay. And I will never take that for granted.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you shared that. And I appreciate you sharing that, because you actually don't have to share any of that. But I just was thinking, I'm like, you're the perfect person to ask, because I genuinely, and I know she doesn't probably want it. She probably doesn't want that spotlight on her. Like I said, I know most of these situations happen in DMs and privately, but I'm like, I just have a hunch, and I've seen it over the last 10 years. I'm like, a lot of the women wrestlers that I talk to, were like had followed me and then started wrestling, started talking to me, her name always comes up.
Always.
And I'm like, okay. Like, you know, like there's something to this Liv Morgan thing with women's wrestlers and helping them and supporting them when they're coming up. Because she was just like all of you, right? She was a fan that loved wrestling, that became a wrestler.
She wants to wrestle me. She wants to wrestle me. It makes me want to cry.
Okay, let me ask you that then. Outside of Liv, like, so we know Liv is one. Give me like 4 other dream matches that you would love to have.
4 other ones. Chris Statlander is definitely up there.
Okay, so there's Liv, Chris.
Mercedes Monet.
Okay, Mercedes. She didn't come for your belt, but there's always time.
She didn't come for. She wanted to with our little action on Twitter. She wanted to come for my belt. I just won this. You are not.
She not taking it. Was hungry for belts, Mercedes. Okay.
Yes.
Who else? We got Chris, Mercedes, Liv.
This one's kind of left field, but Lainey Reed and NXT.
Okay. Is this based off of just like a friendship you two have, or is this like a
friendship? And I think she's amazing in the ring. So, and then probably Charlotte Flair. Got to get her in there. Which
I just feel like if you could have said Charlotte, you could have said Bayley, Alexa. I'm like, it's gonna be one of these other goats of women's wrestling that you have to like be like, I need to get that.
I had to pull some out of left field. Trust me, like Nikki Bella's up there. Up there.
Yeah, no, I feel so another thing I guess we should touch on, because you know, I know, but I don't know if the world knows. Tell us about this whole like friendship you have with Heath Slater and what Heath Slater means to you. And
my dad.
You know, well, give me like, where did this start? Was this like the first school, or is this like, what's the Heath Slater?
Okay. So
lore.
Me and Heath have to repeat this story to so many people, and I think it's so funny every time we repeat it. So when he had that gimmick in WWE, where it's like, I got kids.
Yeah.
I had a sign at a show that said, I am Heath's kid.
Yeah.
I am like 12 years old, and I'm in the crowd. I'm Heath's kid, guys. And like, he's over here, and he's like, you know what? You are my kid. And it was a house show. Yeah. So like they actually ran with it in the match.
Yeah, no, that's the best. House shows are the best for that because they can interact with you. Like I have memories yelling at the Miz and the Miz yelling back at me. I had a sign that said I'm a Sasha Banks guy, which she like got hyped about, and then Naomi just kept like, "Where's my sign?" all throughout the match.
That's what I miss about house shows is the interaction.
Yeah.
And so like he ended up like finding me on Instagram like a couple years later. And like we followed each other, and then every time I saw him, he'd be like, "Oh my God, that's my kid." And so then like he was one of the first people that I told that I wanted to be a wrestler, and he's like, "Oh my God, like this girl's not. No, don't do it. Don't do it." And I was like, "Why not?" And so then fast forward, I actually got to tag with him.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So how was that? So you tell him you want to be a wrestler. He's been very supportive towards you. He's your dad. And then I remember, because I do specific, I don't know like if we were just actively talking or if you just DM'd me out of nowhere, but you're like, "Hey, guess what? I had a team with Heath, a WrestleCade coming up or something." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool."
So like this promotion in North Carolina, it's called Extreme World Wrestling. Yeah. They're amazing. I love them. They had been using me, and they started to bring Heath around. And I messaged the promoter, and I was like, "Hear me out." Hear me out. I was like, "This is one of my dream matches that I want to have. I have literally specific gear made that matches his."
Yeah.
This happened. That's what a lot of people don't know about that X gear that I had. It is literally matching gear with him. And I told myself, I said, I'm not going to wear this. I wore it maybe once besides that. I said, I'm not going to wear this until I tag with him. And then the promoter ended up making the match happen. And I said, "Oh, an angel. Thank you." So his wife was there. His kids were there. My mom was there.
Oh, the whole family.
Whole fam bam was there. Yeah. And when I tell you, that was one of the best matches I've ever had, just because of like all of the full circle moments that happened in it. Because after the match, I was bawling like a baby. I was balling.
How crazy is this? Because you did go from like Spears and Breeze had that conversation with you from the fan side to the wrestling side, and you're on the wrestling side, but it's okay still to admit you're a fan. Because listen, there's a lot, especially in today's current generation of wrestling. Like even think of the top stars of wrestling now, whether it's CM Punk, Seth Rollins, MJF on the other side, sort of like all these guys grew up wrestling fans too. So technically everybody's a fan these days. Like there's very rare, very few like athletes that really make it when they make it, and very few like Brock Lesnar's left in the world that don't really care for it. But I'm here because I can make money.
It's like we're here, guys.
Yeah, there's fewer of those here, and there's a lot more like I grew up watching this. I love this. I was inspired by, you know, AJ Lee. I was inspired by Nikki Bella. I was inspired by Bret Hart. Like there's a lot more of those than there is not. So as to being a fan, how crazy is it having the openness and the relationships you do with some of the people you grew up watching, where you're like, wow, they see me as a peer now and not like this little girl wearing their t-shirts or something, right? Like, because it, like you're in that world now, Nick, you're teaming with Heath, you're getting advice from guys like Breeze and Spears, you have Liv Morgan to talk to and show things to. I don't even know who else is on this list of people you might be.
There's a lot of people on this list
that like, you know, name some, like who are some people you grew up that really looking up to that you now can say like, oh, I have a good relationship with them, and you know,
Maria Kanellis is definitely up there. Bonnie Gargano is actually on there.
Yeah.
The biggest one that recently happened was Trish Stratus, and oh my god, I got to meet her at WrestleCade this past year. I got to be a part of her like unveiling of the magazine. And I was shaking uncontrollably. I was like, that is Trish Stratus. Like, what? Like, I literally used the stratosphere. Come on now. And my friend Chris Riddle actually introduced me to Trish because they are very close friends. And Chris like, oh, Trish, like, this is Emily. I am in the corner shaking. And I'm like, hi.
I'm Emily.
Like, I am Emily. What's up? And she ended up messaging me after because she had like seen my profile and then saw where I did the stratosphere, and like she's messaging me about it. She was like, oh my god, I love that you go down on your knees with it. Like, this is amazing. Like, it made me want to cry because I'm like, this is Trish Stratus. And she's talking about me.
It's insane. It's insane. I trust me, I can relate. I've had some moments, and then you also kind of learn too, like when you get in these situations, like, oh, they are seeing everything. Like they're just as active as the rest of us on social media and all this crap we're talking and whatever. They are seeing everything. The amount of times I don't even think people know who I am, and then I meet them, like, we know. We know who you are. Oh, hey. I think it was like Piper. I think it was Piper Niverchick. Oh, you're that guy on Instagram with your face kind of like she was doing the pose.
When I tell you, I actually tweeted something last October saying like, I swear to God, like October is cursed for me and all this. I had very important people text me because I'm like, nobody's going to see this.
Yeah.
Very important people were texting me saying, hey, are you okay? I saw your tweet. Remind you, these people do not follow me. And I went,
yeah, that's what I mean. That happens to me when they don't follow me, but like, we know who you are. I just assume if you don't follow me, you don't know. But I'm like, oh, we see what you post. I'm like, okay. Yeah, no, it's been a hell of a ride. It's fun because like I know I've known you since before you started wrestling, so it's like it's interesting to see how far you've come. Hey yo, it's your boy the Wrestling Classic Justin here, and I'm here to tell you guys about one of wrestling's best kept secrets for merchandise, officially licensed WWE and NXT merchandise, 500level.com. Check them out, 500level.com. Get officially licensed merchandise for the WWE, NXT, UFC, MLB, NBA, NHL. They got it all. If you join the Partnership Point program as a loyal customer, you will get discounts down the road. You can find merchandise for some of your favorite NXT stars that you can't find anywhere else. Javon Evans, Evans, Kalani Jordan, Carmen Petrovic, Lola Vice, Trick Williams. They got merchandise for everybody on NXT. You got OG shirts like this NWO shirt. You got big stars like the Queen Charlotte Flair. You get new designs like this new design for Lita. You get designs I helped out with, like this design for Dakota Kai, which I was a part of creating when Dakota didn't have those many shirts going on. You can get, like I said, NXT superstars like Carmen Petrovic and many others. You can get OGs like the none other than the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. You can get CM Punk, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, anybody you want. Sami Zayn's 500level.com. Check them out. You can even get the bad guy, Razor Ramon. You get your OG, like I said, logo shirts, NWO, WWF, Survivor Series, Raw's War. 500level.com. Check them out. Join the partnership program. Some of the best quality shirts, premium quality, regular quality. Some of the best product you will find out there, officially licensed WWE, NXT merchandise, and OG Legend stuff. 500level.com. Check them out. Keep doing the thing. We'll see you all later. Ooh, yeah.
If there's people that are new to you that haven't seen your stuff, like what match would you recommend them to go watch? Like, what is a match of yours that you're like, go on YouTube? This is the one I'm most okay with because I critique myself too hard.
Me versus Lena Cross.
Okay.
Happened in November. One of my favorite matches. My gear actually fell apart in that match, but we still were able to work around it. And I was like, my leg thing is completely down. Like I was slipping and falling, but we made it work. That match I'm very proud of. And then me, Billy Starks, Allie Katch, and Brittany Brooks in a fatal 4-way.
That's fire. It's a fire match. That's a stacked lineup.
I know.
Who's someone on the independents, like not those names, obviously not like Brittany or Zetas or the Holly, like someone that like maybe I don't even know that you think deserves some flowers, that maybe they're even just starting, but you like I see potential. Because like I know a lot of, like you can say, like I know Janai, like I know a lot of people, so like someone you think I don't know that you're like, hey, like Justin, this is someone, like if you could give someone the rub right now that I don't know, because I know like I know a handful, I'm pretty on the pulse of things, but someone I might not know that you like check it out.
I would definitely put over my tag partner, Miss Joni Burke Esquire.
Yeah, no, that's right. I don't know who that is. There you go. Okay, yeah.
She is amazing. I love her. We actually wrestled each other. It was like my first or second time in Jersey. And then we ended up tagging together and we won the tag team championships. And now we've been champs for almost 2 years. So
long reigning champions. I gotta look this up. Okay. What was her name, sorry?
Joni Burke Esquire.
Joni Burke Esquire. Okay, I'll look up after. That's cool. Okay, yeah, no, everyone go check her out. Yeah. And what's even be funny too is I'm probably gonna look her up and be like, oh, I have seen her. I just didn't know who she was.
The match I recommend that we had was me and her, so Stunning Law, great name if you ask me, versus Smash and Burn, which is Junie Underwood and Ricky Price. Great match. Loved that match.
How do you fit in those situations, in the sense of like obviously in the independents it's very common to do intergender wrestling. You'll be wrestling dudes and you'll be wrestling women, right?
Sign me up.
What is your take on wrestling the dudes? Like, what do you feel like is the biggest difference in that sense than wrestling the women?
I love wrestling the guys. I wish I had more opportunities to wrestle guys, because my thing is we are all wrestlers.
Yeah.
There's in my head, there's no gender in wrestling.
Yeah.
You want me to wrestle a guy? I'll wrestle a guy. You want me to wrestle a girl? I'll wrestle a girl. Like, it's wrestling. We all should be each other. And I feel like wrestling guys is a little bit different, because half the time they actually don't want to hit you. And the thing is, I'm going to come back and actually hit you in the face. Because if you don't hit me, I'm not going to hit you, but I'll hit you 10 times harder than you think.
That's hilarious. And also, like, I feel like it gives you, like, you learn different things both ways, I feel like, right?
Yes.
The stuff you can learn with the girls, and especially since you're probably going to be wrestling girls for more part of your career, that you're only going to be able to learn with the girls. But with the guys, it lets you be maybe a little bit stiffer. It lets you maybe try things on someone that has a bit more weight in them carrying themselves.
Yes,
you know what I'm trying to say?
More face.
Yeah, so I get it. How was it being the first ever PWJ champion? You won the belt. You're number one. Shout out to them, because they're very nice to me.
First ever inaugural PWJ Women's Champion. There was so much stuff that went into that match, because fun fact, Zeta actually got added to that match 10 minutes before the doors open.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God. Because she was supposed to wrestle Priscilla Kelly, but then a flight got canceled. So that didn't end up happening. So Zeta gets added, and I'm like, okay, we now have a 5-way. And it was me, Zeta, Jasmine Allure, Kylie Ray, and Ava Everett. And I was like, okay. I said, who's heel, who's baby? Because we need to there's too many bodies right now.
Yeah.
And we were able to like make it work, and becoming the first ever, it was amazing. My mom was there. My brother was actually there. My brother lives in New York, so it was amazing there. Because I think the last time he saw me wrestle was like my 5th ever match. And I was like, at least I'm better now, guys.
Yeah. You can't judge me on that.
You can't judge me now. But becoming the first ever really meant a lot to me. I actually helped design that belt. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it look pretty. Yeah. And now I get to defend that bad boy on March 1st against none other than Priscilla Kelly.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. How is it? Like, who else have you worked with that is someone you watched, but you have to work with so far?
Got to wrestle with Allie Catch. I loved Allie Catch. Love watching the matches. Billy Starks was a big one for me. I loved Billy. Me and Billy are very good friends, and that one meant a lot to me. There's so many. I feel like I wrestle the same people over and over, but then I don't at the same time.
If you could give advice to a girl that is looking to get into wrestling, like say if you could go back and talk to yourself before you started, what piece of advice would you think you'd give yourself versus to someone right now?
Don't feed into what everybody tells you. Don't think like just because you're not going a certain way doesn't mean it's the wrong way. And that's a very tough pill for me to swallow. But I'm glad I finally got over that and realized everybody's on their own little path. Just because something isn't happening right now doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. And
You've done stuff with AEW. You've been there as an extra. Yes. Have you done stuff with the WWE?
I have not yet.
Not yet. Where do you like? I know you're like as an independent wrestler, you're like wherever. I'm happy to work both places, but how was the AEW experience for you?
I loved working at AEW. They were always amazing. Catering's really good. I really like their catering. You should, if you remember Lucky Ali on the Indies. Lucky would have boxes on boxes, and I went to a lot of shows with him, and I would see him walk out with like 6 boxes of food. I'm like, he's like, I got food for a week. What you mean?
That's hilarious, man. I guess what's one of the cool? I'm going to wrap this up here, but the last couple of questions. What's one of your craziest wrestling stories you have right now that you were like only wrestling and something like I could only in wrestling? Does this make sense? And only in wrestling would this have happened to me?
Split my gear in the match. Yeah, I had to get rid of that gear. Don't know how it happened. I don't even know. Rest in peace, that gear. It was in West Virginia. Thank God the match was not aired anywhere.
Yeah.
Or I would have been done for. Like, I would have been everywhere on Twitter. Everywhere. I said, how does this even happen?
Yeah.
It's like the bottoms and the top. And I said, what just happened? I'm confused.
Was it off a move or was it just like...
I don't even know. Like, the thing is, nobody has any footage of this match, so I have no clue.
Which is so nuts, too, on this current day and age. Not even one person had their phone out and was recording.
I think my mom, like, took one picture and she thought she was recording the match. And then... like,
what a mom move.
I get her phone to, like, see it, and it's literally just me walking away at the end. I said, okay.
Well, damn. Well, you're lucky. That's interesting. What do we listen to? What's on your playlist? What is Emily Jaye's music taste? You always listen to some country. Sometimes you listen to some pop. Next, you know, you're jamming to some hip hop. Like, what are you listening to?
I love Nickelback. I love Nickelback. I love Tate McRae.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's also up there. And then my yeehaw country man, Dylan Scott, love him.
Okay, that's someone I gotta check because everyone else you mentioned, like I know I listen to, I'm also a fan of. I am a country fan, but like I am not on top of like new artists, and I feel like recently I've like got put onto like that the Child's guy. I forget his first name. I think it's Tyler Childs.
Childress.
Yeah. Childers him.
Yeah.
Zach Bryan. I fucking love Zach Bryan. I think he's amazing.
Don't like him.
I don't even know anything about his personal life. I just think he's a great artist.
Yeah, look that up after this.
I will.
What you say.
I don't know anything about that man's personal life or his political choices or anything, but I am a fan of his music. I just went to a concert. Who's the guy that sings? Oh my God, Zach Top.
Oh, Zach Top, yes.
I just went to a Zach Top concert. That was amazing. He gave me major '90s country singer vibes, and I feel like people are like that when they're starting out, so it's great. But I'm not like in the loop with country music. So
Dylan,
who should I know? Yeah.
Dylan Scott. You need to know Dylan Scott. That's my boy.
Dylan Scott. Yeah.
I've known him for like close to 10 years now. It's getting up there. I remember seeing him in bars of like 20 people. And now he's been on tour with like Luke Bryan, and
which is insane.
He actually just had a show where I live back in October, and whenever I see him, like, I gotta pay for nothing. Like, man's me in VIP. And at this point, I had seen him like every year for like the past like 6-7 years until last year. I didn't see him at all, and then this year was the year I saw him. And as soon as I see him, he goes, "Oh my God, Emily, it's the wrestler." I said, "Oh,
it's the wrestler, right. Emily the wrestler."
Emily
that
the
must
wrestler.
Be nuts, right?
And he was like, "So, when you come to Nashville?" I said, "I'll let you know, and I will get you tickets. I will pay for your ticket to come in."
No, that's awesome. What other country singers should I know about?
Russell Dickerson's very good. I love.
Don't know what that is. There you go. That's a good one. Okay.
Russell Dickerson likes WWE. His whole
all right.
Or all his like VIP laminates or whatever were WWE title belts. And it said Russell Dickerson.
It's always the best, and I found that a lot with my page, like finding out who was wrestling fans that you'd be surprised were wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And the amount of athletes and celebrities that I've had follow me on and off, or even just like models that people just see them as Instagram models, and they'll talk to me like, "No, like my dad wasn't a wrestler." I'm like, what? Like, yeah, my dad used to do like, enhancement matches or whatever they're called. I'm like, wait, what? Like, time out, go back. I'm so confused. Like, it's such a crazy world how much wrestling's intertwined in so many people's lives. I mean, like, for example, like you were just saying about Dylan, like you go, then you're on the guest list. Like the last 3 times a weekend has come to Vancouver, I'm just on the guest list because he knows that I live there and he followed me for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Before he decided to follow 4 people. But like we've literally had like personal DM conversations, me and him, just about God knows what, to be honest. And it's so crazy to think about because it's like you really be surprised who were just like wrestling fans. Like
literally. And like it's crazy to think about because like whenever I go like out downtown, like where I live, like if I have a free weekend, I'll go downtown with my friend. And when we go downtown, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're the wrestler." I said,
How was that? Because even that was weird for me too when someone first recognizes you somewhere and they ask you for a picture. Because when I started my page, I don't know if you recall, but like nobody even really knew what I looked like till like 2016.
I didn't know what you looked like for the longest time.
Yeah, because I used to hide. I don't think anyone even knew what my ethnicity. They just knew my name was Justin. I was the Wrestling Classic, and I still remember when first when people didn't know what I looked like, but I'd introduce myself and tell them, they'd be like, "Oh, can I take a picture?" And I'd be like, "No." But like, just the idea that someone would take a picture with me was so weird at first. Like now, humbly, like I get it. I think it's really cool. I'm honored. It's like a privilege, and it's like you know what, it's cool to know that I mean something to people, or like I helped them get through a certain time of their life, and I was able to do that with something we mutually love, which is wrestling. But like, how was it for you the first time someone was like, "Hey, like, can I get a picture with you?" Like me, like.
I literally think I said, "Wait, you talking to me?"
Yeah.
It's so weird now because like whenever I go out, like I live in a very small town.
Yeah.
So like people know me because they're like, "Oh, this is the girl that's trying to get out of here." I said, "Yeah, I'm not trying to live here, guys."
That's a great story though. The small town girl that's a wrestler. Yeah.
Very. And the thing is, wrestling doesn't come around here. Like ever. I think AEW came here back in August. This was the first time we had wrestling in my town in like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while. And I'm like, what you mean? And one time on Halloween, there was a girl dressed as Nikki Bella where I was, and I immediately go up to her and I'm like, I love your costume. And she was like, oh my God, are you Emily Jaye? I said,
oh wow, that's crazy. Oh my God, are you Emily Jaye? But isn't that so weird? Like, it's cool, but it's weird at the same time. And I don't mean weird in a negative way, just weird, like, what?
Like, it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, oh, you know me? Like, you know, like, that's crazy. Hi. It's also because, like, you coming from a small town, like where I live, I was joking with my buddies and like people I know. I'm like, nobody gives a shit that I'm the wrestling classic here. Like, nobody. I'm Justin that they grew up with, that everybody knows, went to high school with. I'm this person's cousin, this person's blah 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 blah, like whatever. And I'm like, and I like that. Like, I'm actually like, I'm happy it's like that here. Like, where people don't know who I am, because when I do go on these wrestling trips, it is, oh, is that the wrestling classic? Yada yada yada. But it is something nice when someone in your hometown does recognize you, and you're like, oh, this never happens here. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, you know, I probably should have like done something with my face today. That's great. Like, you know, like,
when I tell you they see it, like no lashes, no makeup. Like, I look wrong.
No, I don't think this usually happens when I'm at home. This is crazy. I ask everybody this to wrap it up. So I'll ask you, you know, a lot more ahead of you than you got behind you in your career, a lot more things to do. But that being said, how do you, oh, you know what? Before we get there, actually, you know, let me ask you this.
Scared.
Why are you scared?
Nervous.
Why would you be nervous?
I'm always nervous.
I'm just curious, like, has your perception of wrestling changed at all? Being on the inside?
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
I knew.
Yeah.
Huh?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I knew that wrestling was real. I knew that it was real. But actually, like, wrestling, taking bumps, realizing the toll it takes on your body physically, and once you go through like an entire weekend of shows, say like Friday to Sunday, your body feels like you've gotten into a car crash.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a good like 2 days for me to recover. And so my respect grew after my first couple days of training. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just feel like as someone, I never asked you, I meant to ask you at the beginning, like, from someone that was watching from the outside and getting in, like, did you find yourself loving it more on a different level, or was it like more of a, damn, like, I didn't realize this isn't as easy as I might have thought it was, you know? Like, there's a lot more in terms of like politics and yes, who you know more so than what you know sometimes, and when I like has wrestling, because it can break your heart sometimes. Wrestling can be tough. It owes you nothing, right? And it's like, I've heard enough of like, it's easy to be on the fan side and love wrestling. Going back to the Sean Spears racing, but being in wrestling can sometimes hurt that. It could kind of pull the curtain back and you're like, oh, this, I wish I loved it the way I used to, be a fan the way I used to. Like, do you feel like you lost a bit of that?
I feel like I did lose a part of that, but I wouldn't say fully. Like, I will say it is very hard for people to watch like wrestling all the time. It's very hard because I'm around it so often to where I'm like, honestly, I cannot watch this any longer. So like some days I will literally go like days without watching wrestling.
100%, yeah.
I'll watch something like different. Like, I just watched His and Hers on Netflix.
Great show. Did you think it was who it was? You know, there was one time, sorry to cut you off. There was only one time when I was like, oh, maybe it's the mom, because, spoiler alert, because the whole her walking around naked and getting to, I'm like, wait a minute. Yes. One time, just one time. And then I moved away from it, never thought of it again. And then I was like, oh my God, what?
When I tell you I finished it when it woke my mom up, because she had already watched it. I said, it was the mom?
Yeah. And I own it, and I'm like, so I can't even say I didn't think that the entire time, because there was one like brief 10-second moment in my brain. I was like, oh, it's probably the mom. Like, she probably like walked for getting found naked and stuff. Like, what's going on here?
So like I watched like that, and I've been watching like Tell Me Lies on Hulu.
Yeah.
Guys, great show.
Are you like a murder documentary person, like a murder mystery?
True crime documentary. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But Telling Lies is a very like messed up show, but it's very addicting. Like, most manipulative person I've ever met is Stephen Demore. Go away. I hope you get hit by a bus. Like, it's crazy.
My audience is gonna hate me because I totally just got us off the subject of wrestling and what it.
My bad, guys.
No, but it's you brought up his and hers, and I was like, wait a minute.
But circle back. My respect. I realized what I was getting into at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it did make me love it more, but it was very hard in the beginning to where I was like, oh my God, like I can actually understand why like certain things are happening in a match. And it's very hard some days where I'm like, you know what, like I just want to watch wrestling, but then you can't even like get interested in the match because you're just like so drained from it. But yeah.
I have a hard time watching like current wrestling sometimes. If you like Justin throw some stuff on you watched when you were a kid and put it on in the background, no problem.
Yeah.
But I feel like now it's harder watching current wrestling for me. Okay, but last thing, I always ask everybody this. Do you feel like you've made your younger self proud up to this point? If you would have talked to like 10-year-old Emily Jaye, would you be able to be like, look, we've done some cool stuff, or we've talked to some people we really looked up to. We have the support of people we really looked up to. Like I get to hang out with people that I once idolized. Like how would you say you made your younger self proud so far?
I wouldn't say fully, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
But you do realize that your younger self would think even as far as you've come is super cool, right? Like,
oh, absolutely.
You got to give yourself, I don't want you to not like give yourself a pat on the back for like how far you've already come. Like the fact that you're even in a ring, wrestling matches, getting attires, have an entrance, have a character. Like I would assume that's stuff you would daydream about when you were younger and now you're doing it.
Yes. Like, and the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but Emily Jaye is actually my first and middle name. So when I was growing up, I always thought like Emily Jaye, like don't know what she's gonna do, but it's gonna be something.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that like I've had this dream for so long and now I'm actually doing it. And it's very heartwarming. Like when I'm like snowed in right now, like I'll have like these deep thoughts and I just get very emotional. And I'm like, dude, like we're doing the damn thing. Like F whoever said anything about me. Like their words don't mean nothing to me right now.
Anybody that's ever called you weird, now look what happened, right? Because I used to too. I'm like, I remember there was a time when like, oh, people were like, Justin, no weird. He loves wrestling. I'm like, yeah, but look now. Like now is it weird? Does it make sense? And I think part of it is like, it's really cool to think that like you thought about these things and you envisioned yourself as a wrestler, holding up a belt and doing these things. I'm like, no matter how much further you get, like you've done that. Like you got to be a wrestler. You've held up a belt. You've got to hang out and talk to and be part of this group of people that you probably imagined being a part of for a very long time growing up. Yes. And like, yes, it's luck. Yes, it's hard work. Those are two major factors. I do think it's a lot of hard work. It's always a little bit of luck. Always. Yes. Always just the timing of bumping into someone, meeting somebody, being on the same show as someone that can just turn everything around for you, be in the right place at the right time. And then third, it's like, I do believe there was a little bit of manifestation there for you. Like you thought about this happening for a long time, and it's
I'm the queen of manifestation.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I feel like that is part of it because like I think about because I do a lot of these interviews and I connect the dots and I think about myself. I'm like, yeah, my entire life I always wanted to do something with wrestling. I didn't know what. And like you, I was always like, no, I'm going to be something. I'm not to societal norms. I'm not going to get a degree, get a job, get married, white picket fence. Does not make sense to me. And it's like, now I did some crazy stuff and I'm doing stuff with wrestling. And it was very like someone very important in the wrestling industry. I remember it came up to me at an after party situation and was like, Justin, you ever realize like you created something out of nothing? Like it didn't exist. And now it's this thing. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm sitting here and in this room and it's all the roster of this company. And I'm just like, half of them know me. I knew them before they started wrestling and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that is a little fucking crazy.
It's very full circle sometimes.
Yeah, so like you did that too, and it's something I just, I know it bugged me a little bit that you said, not fully yet, because I'm like, no, I get it. Be ambitious, stay hungry, and you're not fully where you might want to
always stay yourself. Hungry.
Yeah, 100%. But I just want to be like, no, like you did it for your younger, so like she would already think you're fucking cool. Like, you know what I mean?
You
Like, yeah, she'd cry.
cried.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. This is fun. This is, I'm sure, the first of a handful.
Took us a long time.
It does take us a long time to get here. Obviously, we lucked out. We saw each other at WrestleCon in New York, so we had that little mini conversation there really quickly. But I'm like, I want to make sure you're on this show too, because I don't know if how many more episodes of casual conversations we have. But but as we keep going, you are on the show. You're officially a guest amongst names like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Sting and Bret Hart and Trish Stratus and whoever else has been on this show. I'm glad you're on here, and we'll definitely catch up again down the road.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Anything else you want to add? Make sure everyone follow Emily Jaye on social media. Go search her up on YouTube, watch her matches, go support her, jump on the bandwagon before it's too late. You know?
Please do. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for doing this. Everyone keep doing the thing. We'll see you all later. Sweet.
It's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.